All right, so once again, we're back in this cafe, except there's not actually the colorless people aren't actually here. This is kind of more of like an explanation video of like all the stuff we have currently found, what we need to find, and everything else. Fair warning, this first section is going to involve a lot of screenshots, so just bear with me. It just starts off with me joining Overcast, and then Colorless Boss joined out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere. It was Overcast and security, and Boss just came out of nowhere. So Boss is there. I asked her how she's doing. She said terrible because she works with idiots in the office. I told her, if you need anything, I'm always here. You know, just you know, I just love her. She had some words to say to me. This guy is important right now. I'll get back to him in a minute, but she had some things to say to me. Do you realize how lifeless the cafe is? It's all bricks. Everything is lifeless in here, dude. What I mean is, like, literally everything is the same, even with the outside. You know, he does prove a point. Everything is just made out of bricks for some reason. This cafe has a singular update. The singular update is that, so okay, when you open the storage room with this button over here, and then you go into the break room, you open the fridge, you grab the coin, you get the key, and then you go into the manager's office. There's a new monitor here. Over here on this drawer specifically, when you click it, it will give you a USB. History of the cafe USB. So you go over and click it, boop. History document opened. Current year 2030. The Gray Cafe was founded in 2017. The Gray Cafe was founded to examine natural human behavior in order to advance AI. History document closed due to classified information. Remember in my first video I did about them, I said this. Where is it? Let me find it. Taking over jobs angered a lot of people. Oh, okay. I wonder what timeline this is. Probably like 2030 or something. Main square is. You catch that? I said, I wonder what timeline it is. Maybe 2030. You know what that means for me? I'm pretty sure I am single-handedly like a co-writer of like the game now. I don't know if I was just spot on or what. But dude, me saying 2030 and then the current year being 2030, that has to be something for me. That has to mean something for me. But yeah, so that's pretty much all this monitor does. Everything's still regular. So here I finally asked the boss, by chance, do you know what or who Ashen is? No, don't ask me such idiotic questions. It's like, what? I mean, I guess it was good I didn't ask last time then, because, oh my god. Time is precious. Don't waste it on insignificant questions. I just asked literally a simple question. But it's okay. The boss still loves me. Okay, I'm just pressing like the arrow key. I'm walking into these screenshots blind. I don't know what I'm gonna be saying in the next screenshot. Oh my god. Okay, wait, I remember this one. So Overcast and security are right here, and they're causing like a big ruckus. And Colorless Boss comes up to me and holds my hand. She holds my hand. And then she said something about like, these idiots, I hate both of them. And we were just bonding over how stupid both of them are. And she held my hand, dude. She held my hand. I asked her if she ever took days off. She said, no, I will work until I die. She said she takes holidays off. And so I was like, my family cooks very well on Thanksgiving. If you ever wanted a portion. Which we're getting there. If my break times had anything to do with you, I'd rather die. Like I said, we're getting there. Oh, this is just a screenshot of security and Overcast kissing. This guy said, stop trying to hit on the boss. This guy is important. HH55Y3. This guy is important. And then boss started babying the camera that Overcast has like attached to him. Which I short. I'm not gonna explain this part anymore. Okay, this screenshot has nothing to do with what I'm about to say right now, but eventually they start talking about the overseer, and I was like, oh, will I ever have an opportunity to meet the overseer? The overseer runs like everything. Ha! I doubt it. Absolutely not. No. I will never meet the overseer, and that's just a sad fact I have to accept, which is actually like a real bummer. I'm special. I should meet everybody here. I asked the boss what her favorite food is, and she said escargot. I think that's how you say it. Escargot is snails as food. She enjoys snail food. I guess I won't judge her, but like I mean I kind of will. But anyway, that's not the point. So I was like, ooh, I know a good escargot place around. And she was like, you look like you cannot afford escargot. And then I was like, I can make escargot. I don't have to buy it. I can make it. And she said, I'd rather eat the dirt I walk on than eat your tainted food. Like I said, guys, it's a process. We're getting there. How about I bring you a portion next time? I'd rather not. My escargot could be the best escargot you could ever have. She said, I doubt it. Then she turns over. She says, is isolation open yet? I have someone who would be perfect. And then she looks at me. She says, nothing. Don't worry your little head about it. She's flirting with me. She thinks I'm cute, bro. I'm telling you, look, my little head. She's flirting with me, dude. Overcast said, is this what outsiders would call a fumble? Don't really know what he meant by that. I said, you sure you don't want my escargot? She says, I have escargot waiting for me at my estate. And then she said, speaking of my food, I do believe I have dinner to attend to. And I said, dinner? And she said, yeah, dinner. I eat 3 meals a day after all. And I asked if she needed a +1, to which she said, she didn't say no. She didn't say no. And then after this, I said something like, oh, maybe we could go eat at a restaurant. And she said, I'm not planning to eat out this week. And I said, next week works for me too. And I'm so stupid. I didn't screenshot this part, but she said all right. She said all right. She didn't say no. She didn't say I'd rather not. She said all right. She said all right. She likes me, I'm telling you. Okay, but that's enough of that. So HH55Y3 is my friend, and we've been talking about things for a while now. And he just said this now. Now that I'm thinking about it, Ashton really fits as a name for everyone here, even if there is a writer. How could you tell who is who between each other? So you guys remember how you have to type Ashton to get into in this basement right here? So this guy mentioned to me like earlier, for some reason when someone mentioned Ashton to colorless security, he ran to the office to get his medical pills. So Ashton is... what? Why is paint open? I didn't click that. So pretty much Ashton is like a trigger word for colorless security. So yeah, look, someone mentioned Ashton to him and he ran to the office to get his medical pills talking about a migraine. So yeah, that's just one of the many things I wanted to talk about. Another thing that we were talking about is these repair shop notes. So note how this says to the repair shop. I've stated what I want to do going forward. But over here on this note, this says to the owner of the cafe. You know this whole AI thing isn't right. If you guys remember in my last video, I asked Overcast what the repair shop was about, and he said it's where the AI is taken for repairs we can't fix. Now that might not seem like anything right now, but if you look over here, this letter says, in our letters, you keep saying replaced yet never explain. So I read both of these and I never thought anything about them, but this little guy over here, he kind of put together that like this is probably from the repair shop, like the repair shop owner. Cause like look, to the owner of the cafe, and then over here it's like they're talking in the same format. And who else would know about AI replacing people here other than the people that they go to like fix their own AI? I'm not sure if this will mean anything, but like he says in our letters. So like in our letters, meaning like in our letters that we receive. That's just something I wanted to point out. I don't know. This myth is really in depth and it's kind of crazy. Moving on to the next thing. This stupid radio literally, as far as me and little green guy have discovered, this just quite literally means nothing. So what I did was I cut it into an MP3, like just a pure sound. And so I put it into a really advanced audio decoder. So this is the chart of it. This is like the volume stuff. Like, look, you literally get like frequencies, filters, like translations, which we'll just go to TTT, which, you know, literally means nothing. But look, I literally get so many things here, but like it does not translate to anything. It literally doesn't translate to a single thing. I've clicked like all of the like options here, and I've scrolled down to see if the translation would change, but no, it's just TTT. So I literally asked ChatGPT about the radio, like I uploaded the radio like thing, and I was like, what could this possibly decode into? And ChatGPT says, I can't do more advanced data analysis. I forgot how you pronounce that word right now. Please try again later. And notice how this is my first message that I typed to ChatGPT. And like, yet somehow my first message reached the limit of like data. Like it doesn't make sense, dude. So generally, I don't think this radio is here for anything. Maybe it's just there to throw us off. I don't know. So I'm gonna go back to my screenshots for a minute. So pretty much what my friend is saying here is like, don't you think it's funny that boss/manager keeps saying that like all of the employees are being replaced by AI, but they're not brought out? Like over here says the janitor is replaced, but the boss and security, like literally everybody except Overcast complains about how dusty it is. So like, where's the AI janitor that you are saying has been replaced? Where is it? Where? So over here he's just saying how security is like genuinely like mentally like insane. He takes pills, he sees rioters in the walls. He literally yelled at the wall of the cafe. So then pretty much my friend kind of tells me like the lore of the city. The city is called Grayscale, which is obvious. The government uses AI, the schools use AI, but history isn't kept for some reason. Saying stuff about it wasn't important. Half of every human here does not know what a degree is. And the rioters come from the main square, all about the city. But for Overcast and security, it's kind of hard to tell. Security keeps up an act for the boss, and to be honest, just ignore what I said here. My friend says, it shows how much fear the boss could import into an employee. And then he goes on to say, Overcast has a family, but doesn't remember much else. Actually, nobody remembers it past. There is documents in the facility, to what I heard. And do you know about LHR? LHR, that is Overcast's second favorite game, which I've like never played this game. I mean, I like played it once, but it didn't seem like anything was happening. Yeah, he said they visited yesterday and went down the basement. So that's just something to keep note on. He says everything here costs about a cent or $3. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, poor is poor, but what about the rich? What do? Do they just buy AI? He said they can't be that dumb enough just to buy AI all over again. And plus, how much does AI even cost? Billions? I said, if it's 2030, I'd assume it'd be hard to find flaws in AI by now, though. So maybe it's like really reliable for something. But that brings us to another question. I did not open Paint! But that brings us to another question. Like, what would it be reliable for? And I was like, maybe they're just replacing the poor with AI. But my friend said the rich would get like bored. Like they need the poor to kind of like, you know, keep working for them, you know? Another thing worth mentioning is that this guy is shown, like, this is the only painting that's ever shown twice in this game. The guy at the front desk. Like, look, he's right here too. We're back in the cafe, and he's put up, like his painting is right here too. Like the front desk guy is totally like much more significant than we realize. Like they could have picked quite literally anything else other than the front desk guy to show twice. The fact that there's just another painting of him in the basement, like him in the basement, that has to be that just has to mean something. Oh yeah, so my friend thinks that he probably saw what happened to the janitor. You guys remember in the first video when Overcast was mentioning to me how the boss talked to the front desk guy and now he's like not one for like chatting? So when that happened, the boss told Overcast to like end his shift and just, you know, just get out of here. Meaning whatever the front desk guy and the boss we're talking about were just completely between them, completely confidential. So my friend's theory is that the front desk guy like saw or knows what happened to the janitor. So this was like before security was like added into the thing. So this just says 2, but he's like one of the 3 human workers here, even though he's like not a real person. You know, hopefully one day he does get to be a real person and we can like talk with him. That'd be pretty cool. He's got long legs. I hope, dude, you know, it'd be funny if, it'd be so funny if, like, they actually, like, made, like, an account for him, and he just, like, actually looked like this, like, in-game. Like, his account looked like this. Like, he looked like this whenever he joined the game and, like, walk around. That'd be funny. Speaking of in-game, I wish, like, I don't know, maybe, like, special guests could have their own avatar, because I want Boss to see how cute I look, dude. I don't want to be stuck as this colorless thing. I want my own avatar. I want Boss to see how cute I look. Okay, so I was asking him if I missed anything, which I did. One more thing. Okay, real quick before I continue, I just noticed that this note said the janitor was not decided yet if he was replaced or not, which explains why it's still dusty. That's my bad. Oops. Okay, so what I was going to talk about was the facility and what we think is probably inside of it. So remember how I was talking about this isolation badge with, you know, like pretty much nothing to it? So if you actually open the image of the badge, it's like the cell and you get a bench, and I assume that's like a food tray. Maybe I could be wrong, but that's what I see. So remember how they were talking about, is isolation open yet, when I was like, you know, doing my thing with the boss? I think we definitely know that the isolation thing is in the facility. But the thing is, what would they be putting in that isolation? So me and my friend think that that's where they put all the old workers until they can replace them, or like rioters that try and, like, you know, just enter the cafe or do something, you know? I think inside of the facility, I think we might come across people like inside of like solitary cells. But no, that's the crazy thing. We might see the janitor like inside of a cell, like while we're on the tour. That's the crazy part. Other than that, we have no idea what else the facility could contain, like at all. But all we know is that there's an isolation chamber and that the janitor is probably rotting away in it. Oh yeah, while we're at it, guys, go congrats Overcast on 1,000 visits. Go join the Gray Cafe. You can find it on Overcast profile, or you can find it on my profile, link in the description. But yeah, join the group and then congratulate him on 1,000 visits. Although I only think it's special guests that can type in the group wall. Unless like 30 of these people here just are really shy. But no, I think special guests should get their own avatar in grayscale. I think that'd be cool. But my final theory that I kind of want to leave on, so me and my friend were talking about this earlier. Parts ordered: robotic eyes, robot arm. So I just want to note how they say robotic eyes and arm. I don't care about the wires and camera. They say eyes and arm. Dude, you're in the way. Move. But the only... Dude, stop. Move! So like I was saying, the only AI we've ever really seen is like the security guys. We haven't seen like the waiter. Like, look, they've replaced 7 waiters with AI, but we haven't seen like a waiter AI. We've only seen the security ones. There's no waiter AI like anywhere. But whatever the waiter AI is, it needs a pair of eyes. I don't know. That's just something I wanted to note. I'm sure it doesn't mean too much, but every little thing is something big. Just like my relationship with the boss right now. You know, after we go on that escargot date, I promise you, this is gonna blossom into something beautiful. I know I keep saying one more thing, but it's just one more thing I want to leave off on. I don't have any like physical media for this, so but my friend did mention to me is that Overcast and Colorless Security, they both don't know their real names. Like, of course they know Overcast and, you know, Security, but that's nobody who names their child Overcast and Security. That's not their real names. Something I kind of forget a lot is that Colorless Overcast and Colorless Security are both humans. I kind of forget that fact a lot, but like I said, they don't know their real names. They like don't remember much about themselves at all, which is why me and my friend like might think that like the boss or the manager is brainwashing them into like continuing to work here. Would you work for a cafe in 2030 if you're literally making $0 out of your paycheck? If it's going towards bettering AI, like he said, and you're literally not getting paid a single penny from this, why would you still be working here? Matter of fact, why would you be working like 3 lines at once? Because mind you, Overcast has to sweep, he has to, I don't know, do things over here, and he also just kind of has to like control the place. He literally has to do everything. He has to do so much more than security and like boss like ever need to do. But like I said, that's just a theory me and my friend came up with. We don't know if that's true. We don't know if they're being brainwashed. They probably are, but we don't know that for sure. If you have any theories yourself, please comment on my videos. I look through all the I literally see every single comment ever. Like, look, be like this guy. Look, he commented like a whole like thing on my Grace Zoe video. Like, look how in depth he went for my Twinkled Pal video. Like, please be like this guy. Do something. This is also a good comment. I also like this one. You could either comment like this or comment like this, but no in between. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to leave off on. Just gonna let you guys know, me and the boss will be dating, so please do make ship art of that and put it in my Discord channel. Goodbye.